Our special comedy guest this evening on the Dan Nichols Show is a young man we're going to be seeing a lot of on television later this year. He's part of Trevor Noah's new show, and no surprises because he's a very, very funny man indeed. He hails from the Eastern Cape. His name is Mbulelelo, but he prefers simply Mbu. A warm welcome.
Good evening. And such. I like to perform to my audience, you know, people who are listening. And toe ek ingestap het, ek baie Afrikaans gehoor. So net deur julle hande te klap en te skree wat ook al. Hoeveel van julle is Afrikaans? Nee. Foei tog. Ek sê foei tog want dit is my gunsteling Afrikaanse woord en mees van my grappe is in Xhosa. Foei tog. My Afrikaans is nie heeltemal vlot nie, maar ek praat. I remember when I first learned Afrikaans though. I was probably 9 years old, and every time my mom and I walked through the grocery stores, I always noticed that the U magazine and the Huisgenoot always had the same cover. So in my 9-year-old mind, I was like, duh, Huisgenoot is just a fancy way of saying you in Afrikaans. I thought I was going to impress my teacher with that the next day. Mrs. Shriver came up to me and was like, Goeiemorgen, Mbulelelo. My full name is Mbulelelo, but it was 1991. She was Afrikaans, it was acceptable. Goeiemorgen, Mbulelelo. Hoe gaan het vanoggend? Ek is goed, dankie mevrou. En Huisgenoot. But you learn these languages. Even English was hard to grasp. Even now, when you hear like a new English word in conversation, you don't want to stop the conversation to ask what the word means. You just take it on the context of whoever said it. When I was 10 years old, a friend of mine, Warren, comes back from the school holidays, and he starts telling me this long story about him and his dad going fishing, after which he had the audacity to tell me that I couldn't even fathom. I had no clue what the word fathom meant. I just took it on his context because he was very animated when he said it. He was like, Moo, you couldn't possibly fathom. I'm like, whoa, who told you that? I can fathom just fine. I fathom all the time. Us Sianda and Tebo, they've seen me fathoming before. Now, you have to understand the climate of the country at the time. It was 1992. Me, Sianda, and Tebo were the only 3 black guys in the entire class. So even though they had no clue what the word fathom meant, they had my back. They're like, yeah, dude, Moo fathoms all the time. He fathomed this morning before assembly. Where the hell were you? Warren, it turns out, also had no clue what the word fathom meant, because his response was like, oh yeah, mister, I can fathom just fine. How about you fathom right now? In front of all these people. He wanted me to fathom in front of the entire class, ladies and gentlemen. And I froze. And like I said, we were 10 years old. Nobody knew what the word fathom meant, but no 10-year-old wants to look like they're the only ones who don't know what the word means. So the entire class is like, yeah, fathom, 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 fathom. I froze, because what was I going to do? I don't know how to fathom. And I guess Warren could taste the blood, because he was like a ring announcer. He was like, I knew it. This guy can't fathom. He could never fathom. Come on, guys, he can't fathom. He can't fathom. And then they went with him. He can't fathom. He can't. And then it struck me. It was 1992. I don't know much about white people, and white people knew even less about me. So I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Listen, it's against my culture to fathom in public. And they're like, boo. I'm like, okay, fine. How about you guys fathom? Like, if we're not going to fathom, then we're not going to fathom. I'm like, fine, then nobody fathoms. Now, the school must have thought to fathom is like a naughty thing to do. I don't know. I don't think they thought it was drugs or anything, but I think they thought it was naughty because I got called into the office. And the principal told me to take a seat. He's like, take a seat, my son. Now, Mbulelelo, we hear that you've been fathoming on school grounds. I know you didn't fathom alone. Tell me who else fathomed with you and you won't get in trouble. They wanted me to snitch. I did not snitch, ladies and gentlemen. That's when they called my parents. My mom was livid. You can imagine a Xhosa woman. I'm from the Eastern Cape. They called my mom, and we're in the kitchen with my dad. And she's livid. She's like, Ndanam, I can't believe it. You are telling me all the school fees I'm paying, and all you do at school is fathom. Okay, fine, Mbulelelo, fathom now. Fathom now, come, fathom now. I froze. That's when she tried to bring my dad into it. She's like, Kusta, tell your son to fathom. Tell him to fathom right now. My dad just flicked the newspaper over. He's like, hey, Zuki, just leave the boy alone, man. I started fathoming round about his age. And besides, it's against our culture to fathom in front of women. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Msongela. Thank you very much for listening. Please enjoy the show.